Today we are going to talk about Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha or Shiva. You may have observed that three things are always happening at the same time. Always, everywhere. Some things are getting created, some things are getting destroyed, and some things are getting maintained. Right now, in our body or your body, millions of cells are getting created, millions of cells are dying, and while millions of cells are doing their job of maintaining the body. Ancient Hindu thinkers looked at the universe and they said that these three forces need to be represented as deities. Forces so big that they need a face and a story so that human mind can grasp them. Enter Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Not just three gods with interesting backstories, but a complete framework for understanding how things work, including your life. Let us understand Brahma. Brahma is a force of beginnings. He is depicted with four heads, each in a different direction, because creation happens in all directions. His consort is Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, because creation and knowledge always go together. You can't build anything genuinely new without understanding or without knowledge. There is an interesting aspect about Brahma. Despite being creator, there are only two known temples of Brahma in India. Once the creation is done, the ongoing work belongs to Vishnu and Shiva. Creation is one moment. Maintaining and transforming it takes forever. There is an interesting aspect about Brahma. Hindu cosmology describes something called a Brahma day, the entire cycle of creation and dissolution of the universe. And how long is the Brahma day? One Brahma day lasts 4.32 billion years. Modern science estimates age of the universe as 13.8 billion years, probably 3 Brahma days. But remember, the Brahma day of 4.32 billion years was written thousands of years ago, before any telescopes, before measuring starlights, or before any of the modern gadgets which astronomy uses. Those gadgets existed. After Brahma comes Vishnu, the preserver. Vishnu is depicted in blue, the color of infinite sky and ocean. His consort is Lakshmi, goddess of abundance and prosperity. Because preservation requires resources, care, and ongoing nourishment. When things go badly in the universe, when the balance is broken, it is said that Vishnu descends down to earth in some form to restore the order. These forms are called avtaras, and Vishnu is supposed to have 10 avtaras. Vishnu's 10 avtaras appear in this order. First, Matsya, fish. Second, Kurma, tortoise. Third, boar, a land-based mammal. Fourth, Narsimha, half lion, half man. Fifth Avtara, Vaman, a short early human form, and 6 to 10 progressively evolved human forms. Charles Darwin published his theory of evolution in 1859. Dashavatara describes the sequence of evolution from fish to amphibious to land mammal to half human to full human. This order was written thousands of years before Darwin. Now, we are not trying to say here that Hinduism invented evolution, but look at the similarity and the parallel in terms of how human life has progressed. The life progresses through these stages in that sequence is definitely remarkable. Thousands of years before Darwin. Then we come to the third, Shiva, the transformer. Now Shiva is also described as destroyer. But I think that is slightly misleading. It is more of breaking things down so that something new, beautiful emerges. Transformation. The Shiva force is like a forest on fire. When you think about forest on a fire, it may look catastrophic. But remember, it renews the entire ecosystem. Without Shiva, nothing would ever change. The old would pile up forever and nothing new would arrive. It's a force which is probably most uncomfortable, but which is most essential as well. Shiva is fierce and gentle. He's the destroyer. But his name actually means an auspicious one. Think about something in your life that ended, maybe a friendship. Now, when the friendship ended, it may have felt like a pure loss. Probably you didn't want that to end. But remember, it created a space which may have been now filled up by a better friendship. So Shiva is that force. It is ending of a new beginning. Now, an interesting thing. You may have heard of CERN, the European organization, which has the most advanced, powerful particle physics laboratory, where scientists smash atoms together to understand the underneath nature of reality. It has 2-meter bronze statue of Shiva as Nataraja in front of the main building. The plaque next to that statue quotes physicist Capra. Scientist Capra says, Shiva's cosmic dance is the most perfect personification of the modern universe which any art or religion has achieved. So what does that statue means? That scientists who are studying the deepest structure of physical reality, they chose a Hindu god to represent their work. Now that is not a small thing. So we talked about Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. But these three characters are not just characters in ancient stories. These are forces which you can actually observe in your day-to-day life. Let us understand how. You can observe the Brahma energy. Something new is starting. Maybe a new school year is starting. Maybe a new friendship. Maybe you are developing a new interest. A new version of yourself is emerging. That is the creative force, Brahma energy in your life. You can also observe the Vishnu energy. Something is getting maintained, a relationship which is getting tended, a skill which you are practicing, a habit which you want to continue with. These are forces of preservation, Vishnu energy. And then the last, Shiva energy, the transformation force, a phase you have outgrown. Once you finish your school years, that phase ends and the new phase of college education starts. Or there could be a habit which is not serving you well and you want to end it. That transformation force, that is Shiva. So all these energies, Brahma energy, Vishnu energy and Shiva energy, they are always there, happening in our own life, your own life. The skill is recognizing which force is needed where. Ancient Hindu thinkers looked at the universe and found three fundamental forces. Modern physics is also looking at the universe and using the best instruments ever built and finding the same three interactions. Modern physics finds creation of particles, stable maintenance of particles, and annihilation of particles. It's a different language, but same reality. What Hindu philosophy found, also the modern physics or modern science is finding. Three forces always working: creation, maintenance, and transformation or ending. Now for the next episode, here is a question. What is the oldest piece of literature which is being read and recited today? Not stored in a museum, but actually used by people, real people. The answer belongs to Hinduism. The texts are so old and preserved so carefully that one wonders how it was even possible. And these books are Vedas and Upanishads, the oldest books which a 19th century German philosopher read every morning, every evening, and kept on his desk. So the next episode about Vedas and Upanishads.